What's up? What's up? This is Dean Anthony TV. I'm here to do my recap on Matrix Resurrections. It starts off in a smooth encrypted lettering as before. It's back. Matrix Resurrections. Trinity is on a seat in the warehouse backwards. The agents are inside, and the bugs are armed. Trinity is sitting in a chair and she fights off the cops. She runs away till she jumps across another roof and she fights with flip kicks and sidekicks, stuff that she did in the first movie, and she's in great condition. Bugs is trapped by the agents, and agents stay, and they try to kill her. She runs around and she fights them back. She then walks to the nearest building and get grabbed by Morpheus. Digital centons like you. Morpheus said we're trapped inside the loops. And then Bugs had both of the pills. He said you had to pick either red or blue pill. He picks the red, of course. Then agents come in and chase him down. Then it zooms out and Thomas Anderson. He's a game designer at Dux Machina, and he has awards on his desk for all the dual screen desktop and the screen and all the stuff on his desk. So he's doing a good job. He sees himself in the computer walking. He sees Trinity at the counter from when he goes downstairs, and he talked to her to see if they met. He meets his boss at the window. Then they have a focus meeting, and they come up with all the different ideas. Then suddenly the bathroom is raided by a bunch of cops. Everyone flees, and the fire alarm rings, and Morpheus comes in and fights the agents in there. They have a slow montage of clips from the first Matrix. They bird jump, so you can remember when Morpheus said, "Free your mind," and jumps. So Neo gets in the corner of the building and jumps off, and Bugs grab him back and safely on the roof. Then she walked near the door with a bright light, and it's Tokyo. And they walk in. It's a full train with peoples. On the train, Neo and Bubby gets ambushed by soldiers and agents. They then pulled out of the Matrix, and they bring them into the real world. Reality based on the memory of fiction. An algorithm that made you. He's called Morpheus. He said that they do what I can do. Then Morpheus brought him to the temple program. Neo versus Morpheus. Morpheus beat him up and take him down. It's intense. He's hitting him with spin kicks, side kicks, and arms. His body was bleeding from the nose and the urge of losing. He shoots up a blast of fireball and knocked Morpheus out of the temple. He took out a life and turned into a video game. Then Neo is introduced to everyone on the team in the real world. Bugs Bugs has a long talk with Neo about the Matrix and the real world, and Morpheus came in as a 3D image and started to talk. Welcome to Ion. He meets Naomi. She is much older, in the 80s, because it's like 60 years later. She's had a long about the machines in the last program. Naomi brought Neo to the cave, and they are walking in the glowing lights, and there saw a statue of Morpheus. He died in Matrix Online. That answers a lot of the people's questions. Then the Sheik beam Bugs, Neo, and other brunette girl and Morpheus into the Matrix. They came through the mirror glass. They are armed and ready to fight. Then they meet Agent Smith on a staircase, Sun Foyer. 4 fighting people attack them, and the whole fight is all intense. Then Agent Smith charged Neo into the floor, and he dropped to the ground and fighting back and forth. Neo ducked most of the Smith attack. This is all simultaneously. Then Bugs scats down and helps. Then Agent Smith tells you you're not used to be, and Neo's running clockwise until he walks and kicks Smith. Cool. Smith holds down. He comes in back and shoots fire and knocks through walls. Wow. Then Analyst comes in with the warehouse, Trinity walking in. Neo finds her to talk. The analyst, the reason why you both heard, she's paying a lot of money. She paid them a lot of money to rebuild them in the machines in the real world to get both of them back into the Matrix. Sati, for Revolution. He saw her at the Infinity Train with the architect. They met when Neo was sacrificed. She grown up now, and she helps Morpheus in the Matrix and try to protect her with us. So she projects hers in the real world, and then Morpheus 3D projection himself in the real world to go to Trinity's pod to feed her energy. In the Matrix, Neo is surrounded by soldiers. She walks from the doorway, and a dude claiming to be a ninja. The Matrix, he really wasn't. He calls her Tiffany, and called her Tiffany, and she named Trinity, and spin and handstand kicks them. Neo knocks a group of guards out, and Trinity gets reborn and back, and then jumps on the bike, and Neo gets on the bike. All the children turn into drones, and they gang up, and they pull their Neo blocks and deflects his powers. Then Neo and Trinity goes on top of the roof. Good moment. And Trinity says he remembers the past self. And the soldiers chase up the roof, fall down, but levitation grabs Neo, and both of them fly in the air. They get unplugged and plugged back in. And then the architect and Trinity smacked him because they changed her name to Tiffany. He asks her what they're going to do next. They're going to make this world better. And it panned out. And then they fly into the sky holding hands. And that's the end of the movie. I give this movie a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. The cinematography is excellent. The story, I wish it had more action, but this created a brand new story, so that someone has to give. We learned a lot of new things. Thank you.